Hi, everybody. Welcome to Conversations with Bizzy. I hope you enjoyed today's story. And if you do, please subscribe. Here we go. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Conversations with Bizzy. It is episode 524. Wowza, 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 wowza. I didn't go into it too much last week, but I had an engagement party this weekend. Yes, my youngest son, Henry, is engaged to Alyssa Whitman, whose family is now in Texas. She grew up in California, and this past weekend on Saturday night, I got to have their party, and it was an engagement party. And this week's topic is breaking the cycle, sobriety, family, and the next generation. It's so crazy, you guys. I went all out. I'm not gonna lie. I went all out. I was like, oh my gosh. I don't know why I wanted to go all out, but I did just because I'm so excited for the two of them. I couldn't be happier for them. And it was beautiful. I can tell you this. It was beautiful. The weather was spectacular. Even the mother of the bride said to me, "Oh my gosh, this is like California weather. Like there were no bugs. It wasn't too hot. It wasn't too cold. It was like perfect. The stars were out. It was amazing, amazing." And um, I have Julia Gallagher, who's my assistant. She did these flowers were amazing. I was like, go buy flowers here. I love the flowers. I don't know about you guys, but at Trader Joe's, they have the most amazing flowers, and they have these garden roses that they open up, and they're the most beautiful thing you've ever seen. So Jules had like run around to every Trader Joe's in our neighborhood. I went to Costco, got flowers there, ended up buying a bunch of vases on Amazon, these square vases, and you just take the tape and you go across twice and then twice this way, and you put the roses in and then some hydrangea in the middle, and they just were spectacular. The tables, I ended up renting tables, and I did bamboo chairs with bamboo silverware and bright green napkins and pink and white roses on every table. And it was like on these two long farmers tables that had 20 on each table. So it was right next to the pool, and we had tiki torches. And the most clever thing, you guys, I had a bartender who's adorable. His name's Tommy. If anybody wants to reach out to me, please do reach out to me and I will give you his information. But you know what the best thing was? I had a bar because, as we all know, I'm sober. My husband's sober. My ex-husband's sober. Some of my friends, a lot of my friends are sober. And it was so amazing because Tommy's like, I will bring a bar and I will pick up all the alcohol, and what you haven't drank, I will take back with me, and I will either return it or I will take it back myself. And what an amazing gift, I have to tell you, because who would have ever thought that these sober people, my husband with 26 years, my ex-husband with 11 years, me with 18 years, we have all these years of sobriety, and we have this son that's getting married, and he of course drinks and his friends drink. But it's so different than the way that we drank, especially my ex-husband and I. And we actually had the opportunity to talk about this on Saturday night. But we had this beautiful bar. So I'm going to keep going with the stories of what the setup, and then I'm going to go into more intricacies of the relationships. But so then so Tommy comes, he sets up the bar, and I ordered napkins from Zazzle, this awesome website, and they had both of their initials on it. And so pretty, so pretty, so simple, just an A and an H for Alyssa and Henry. And the bar was beautiful. Caterers were amazing. It was like so easy because I set everything up. Like I literally was like, this is what I envision, and I made it happen. Do you guys ever have that happen? You're like, this is what I want it to look like. And I did it. And it was absolutely beautiful. And so many candles. I got 1,000,000 votives. If you're like, where'd you get those? A dollar store votive, like the glass votive things, and then you just buy the candles, pop them in, and there were candles everywhere. So it was beautiful. We have no lights outside hardly. So my son was like, Mom, aren't you going to turn lights on? I'm like, we don't even have any lights outside. It's kind of sad, but we didn't. poor Tommy, the bartender, because he couldn't see anything. And they made a mocktail drink that was their version, that they also had an alcohol version, but they had the mocktail version for all of us that don't drink. And it was delicious. Tommy made this with local ingredients. Amazing, amazing, amazing stuff. So what my big thing was is that knowing that were sober, we wanted to make sure everybody felt comfortable. The people that were sober and the people that drank. I wanted everybody to have what they wanted to keep them in their comfort zone. It was with the menu as well. I did a vegetarian option, which were these they call it I'm not gonna get it right, you guys. Something wild mushroom thing, but the mushrooms were just, they call it something. Oh, I can't remember. I'm not gonna focus on it. If you want the menu, I'll send it to you though. But we had filet, we had fish, and we had a vegetarian option. And then I had this. I didn't know where I was going to get the cake. I went on Instagram and I found Bake 561, which is a local Delray woman that bakes cakes, and she made the cake exactly as the bride and groom to be wanted it to look like, and she did a fabulous job. She dropped it off at my house. I mean, literally everything was exactly the way that I had envisioned it. The only problem was I didn't get enough sleep. And now being at 56, I'm like, oh my gosh. I woke up 2 days in a row and I was like, I look so old and so tired. Thank God I don't look today, because 2 nights in a row I went to bed at 9. I went to bed at 9:30 the last 2 nights. Can you believe it? And tonight I'll probably go to bed at 9:30 again. But I was so tired. So tired. But thinking about the fact that I had I had it all together. And my biggest want for myself for this whole thing was to stay calm. I remember being younger and having parties and being absolutely insane and never having any fun, right? I was like always exhausted. I was always stressed out. I screamed, I yelled, I did things that I was totally embarrassed by and would regret that. And the entire day of the wedding, the engagement party, I was like, please stay calm, please stay calm, please stay calm, please stay calm, just stay calm and roll with it. And I did, and I enjoyed myself, which was so awesome to just walk through something and enjoy yourself while you're walking through it and watching. It was just, the whole weekend was amazing. My son had 11 of his friends come in that were from different parts of his life, mostly from from his 2 years of college. And these guys came in and I've known them all. And to see them now with like supporting my son while he's getting married was just amazing. And my daughter-in-law's maid of honor was there, and she's absolutely adorable and lovely. And it was so nice to hang out with her and get to know her. It was so nice to be around everybody and get to know them. I mean, it was just me, after being sober for so many years, as you guys know, I like me. It's so nice. I can just be me and like everything I'm walking through. And I've learned so much on my lessons in my previous, with my oldest son. I didn't get the opportunity to do this. It was not granted to me. I was not privy to any part of the relationship. So this relationship, I'm really trying to, with my younger son, I'm trying to just keep my boundaries, keep in my, my lane, and just make it as nice as I can for them. And it's not about me. But this party was beautiful. And I think they both enjoyed it. And I think their friends enjoyed it. And it was so funny because some of my friends didn't know, like my ex-husband and I have a kind of a nice relationship. I wouldn't say he's my best friend by any stretch of the imagination. We don't talk very often, if only when it's something for the kids. And I guess it's the way it's supposed to be. And we had a really nice time. And it was, we actually sat out front of my house, and just the two of us at one point, and we were just talking about, we're like, wow, look at these kids that we've, who would have thought? Because we were definitely big boozers back in the day, the two of us. I mean, I actually talked about our engagement party. I'm like, do you remember our engagement party? He's like, I do. It was at my mother's home. My dad flew in. It was weird between my dad and my mom. I remember that. It was just weird with my parents. This, I don't think my son thought it was weird at all about about his parents, because we're just, I guess, I don't know if it's sobriety, if it's God. I guess it's really just God that's just given us this opportunity to have this relationship that is not so much about us, but about our kids. And we both have worked really hard to be sober. And obviously, my husband now is my teammate, and he and I are, on this journey, and we're both sober. And when you're sober, life doesn't have to be dramatic. It doesn't have to be chaotic. It doesn't have to be like all about me or all about him. It's about our son. And everybody loves my son. He's amazing. And, just to be there for him and to let him know that he is loved, and we are celebrating him and his future bride. And we are so proud of him, and we're so proud of her. And we're so excited to celebrate them because they're on this amazing path. And to be parents to the, Henry's got three parents in some sort of way, with having a stepdad that, JF's been in his life now for 13 years. And no, I met him in 12 years, 12 years, because I met him in 2013 and now we're in 2025. So that's 12 years. Oh my God. Or is it 11? Yeah, 11 years. 11 years. Was it 2013, 24? Oh my gosh, you guys. 12 years. Crazy. Wow. I'm not a times person. Are you a time person? Do you remember dates? I don't remember dates all the time. I don't remember what happened at a certain time. I'm just not that type of person. I don't know why. I don't remember dates. And some people do, and I don't. I wish I did, but I don't. So I gotta get over it. But I know this that ever since JF's been in his life, and we've just had this nice camaraderie. Is it perfect? No. But for his sake, everybody tries to get along, and everybody tries to be on the same page for the benefit of the child. And this is Henry. He's not a child very much. He's 25 years old, but to be there for him and to have, I remember if I were drinking, I would have been all about me getting drunk. And oh my gosh, pray. I remember at some point somebody was like, make sure that the chairs are okay because nobody wants to fall in the pool. And I was like, I don't think anybody's going to fall in the pool at this party. I just don't see that happening. If you had met me 18 years ago, and when Henry was he was 6 years old when I got sober, I do know that. And I would have fallen in the pool. My friends would have fallen in the pool. The people I was hanging out with before would have fallen in the pool for sure. That was the way we partied. It was like, party, go big. Hello, we're going to party. And would have had two glasses and, one in each hand. And, it would have been about me and how I was going to get drunk and how I was going to try not to get drunk and I don't even think if I were drinking, I'd be living the lifestyle I'm living in the place I'm living right now. I don't think anything, I think my life would have been pretty much the same as it always had been. I don't think that I would have ever reached my goals. I don't think I'd be doing this podcast. In fact, I would bet dollars to donuts there's no way I'd be doing this podcast. There's no way that I would have stuck to this podcast. There's no way I'd be on episode 524 if I were drinking. There's no way I would make sure that I do this consistently week in and week out. I wouldn't have done it. I wouldn't have I wouldn't have had the time. I wouldn't have given the time to this. I would have said, oh, I'm not famous. I'm not doing this. And reality is it's not about being famous. It's about showing you guys that you can do this. You can have a wedding at your house and be sober and have it be normal. I think the biggest part of this, the key is though, is God, because there's a part in the book Alcoholics Anonymous that says that if you are sober, if you are in recovery and you are working a spiritual program, you can go anywhere you want to go if you're close to God. If you are close in the book, they say higher power. If you are close to your higher power, if you are spiritually sound, you can go anywhere in your life. You can go anywhere you want to go. So I can go anywhere I want to. I can serve booze if I want to. Do I want to have booze in my house every day? No, I don't. I do not want to open my outdoor refrigerator and see wine or see beer. I just don't. Or any hard alcohol. I just don't want to see it in my house. Not because of anything but like, I just don't want to see it. It's just not part of my life. I want to fill my refrigerator with what I like, LaCroix, Saratoga water, Pellegrino, all those drinks that I love to have. I want to fill my refrigerator with that. I don't want to fill it with stuff that I'm, for one, not going to drink, and I don't want to see any all the time. So I could have this bartender come and serve this alcohol to my son and his friends, and they didn't even drink very much of it. It's kind of crazy. There's so much left over. Um, some of it I had to ship to my son. I'm like, I have to get this out of here. I don't want it in my house, and I spent money for it. I am sending it to you. Take it home with you. Give it to my friends. Give it away. I don't want it. I don't want it in my house. And because I don't want it in my house, it's not going to be here. But I was able to serve it because I knew that that's what they like. That's what people like. They like to have wine. They like to have tequila, whatever drink they want to have is on them. They can have that because they can have that. They're not addicts. I cannot have that because I break out into, they like to say, handcuffs. It wouldn't have been fun if we had been drinking. I can't even imagine. I I uh I don't want to say things that hurt people. I don't want to be hurtful to others. I don't want to be insecure. I don't want to be, if I'm drinking, all those insecurities, all those fears, all those things in my head come out because alcohol doesn't, it gives you this unlimited, there's no filter then when you have alcohol in your body, right? Like when I had alcohol in my body, I was like, what, child? I'm going to say whatever I want to say. I don't care what I say. I don't care if it hurts you. I don't care if it hurts my son. I don't care. There is no filter. I'm drunk and I get to, I can say whatever I want to say and then wake up the next day going, "Oh my God, what did I say?" That doesn't happen to me anymore. It does not happen to me anymore. I do not have to wake up in the morning and go, "What did I say? Who did I hurt? What did I do?" Freedom, my friends. Freedom. I thought I was always free when I was drinking. I'm like, see, I'm so free. I can do whatever I want to do. I'm free. I'm free. I'm free. I can drink whatever I want and I don't care what you think or anybody else thinks. But that was all a big, fat lie. Lie. I did care. I do care. I'm the first to care. I think about things. What did I say? Who did I hurt? Oh my gosh. Why, right? We go to that why? Why did I say this? Why did I say that? I don't know if you're that type of person. That's just the way type of person I am. That's where I go to. Why did I say this? Why did I say that? Then I have to go back and apologize for my behavior, which totally stinks. Who wants to apologize for the behavior? Not me anymore. I don't want to do that. So I try to be the best I can be every day. I do have to take a deep breath. I do have good friends. I do have a husband. And good friends are friends that actually call you out on your stuff, that actually have your back, that actually can grab your elbow if you're about to say something you might not want to say and hold you back and have you. I have friends like that today. I don't have friends that say, it's okay, go ahead, have a drink and get behind the wheel of a car. That doesn't happen anymore. I have friends who want to watch out for me. If I'm about to do something that they think I may regret, they're going to say something to me. And instead of being offended by it, which I would have been a long time ago, I'm like, bring it on. Please, please help me. Please, please. I need more. I need more people. I need more love. I think that when we think we've got this thing in this thing we call life, I've got it. I've got it. I don't need any help. I'm old. I don't need any help. I got this. I've been on this planet long enough. I don't need any help. I think that's such a lie. I think the older we get, even we need more help. I have friends with a lot of elderly parents, and I feel like the parents need more help than they ever want to admit to. It's so hard for them to come and realize we're at different places. I pray for my kids' sake that I don't go there and that I relinquish control when I need to. And I hope that they'll be okay leaving me in a retirement community because I think I'll be okay, or in this home because it's one level and it's very small. It's easy to manage. Something like this. I hope that happens for me in the future. I guess you guys can play this back to me when when I get old. My kids can play this actual episode back to me. But not to digress, it's so amazing to watch how different things are for my kids than it was for me. Because again, my engagement party, I got totally messed up. I remember um my ex-husband and I both got really drunk at our engagement party. It was at my mom's house. Oh my gosh, my sister, I'm not going to go into the details because I don't want to call anybody out on it, but it was definitely a different scene. Um we were all smoking cigarettes. We were all drinking. You know, two of the people there are no longer even walking on this planet. There were a lot of people at that party that are no longer here anymore, that have passed away. Unfortunately, including Nadine and my friend Heather Robertson, they're not here anymore. But they were all at my party, and it was all about the drink. Get the drink on, get the booze on, lots of presents, lots of it was so different. It was so different. It was all about I don't know. These two kids that my son and my daughter, soon to be daughter-in-law, are so mature. So much to be proud. I'm so proud of them for who they are as human beings. And, God brought them together. You can totally see it. They're very, they have the same beliefs, the same moral system. They have a love for each other it's just so exciting to watch. Um, I'm overwhelmed with just gratitude and love for both of them, and their friends are so amazing. One of my son's good friends said to me, he goes, "It's so interesting. I just don't think this generation is going to drink as much." He's like, "We're just so much actually." And a couple of these kids said to me, "It's so interesting now that we just don't drink as much. We realize we want to be healthy. We don't want to drink alcohol all the time. We want to, it's all about eating right and getting enough sleep and exercise, exercise, exercise. And it's not about drinking. None of us want to feel hungover. It's just we want to be able to get up and do things." And my kids are like that now. And that was not me, back in I got married in 1994 to my ex-husband. And back then it was not about, we did not want to, like, we're like, bring it on. Let's get as drunk as we can. Let's do as much bad stuff as we can do. And, wow, thinking back to that, it was such a different time. It was so today kids, are they smarter? I don't know. They say that they're not smarter by education wise. I don't know, but my kids definitely and their friends are not so much into the party and getting oblivion. It's like just spending time with each other and talking about stories and making new memories today. And they're like, we don't like to drink as much as they used to. Isn't that funny? Like, I remember growing up, it was all about what you were going to drink. My mom's like, "What do you like to drink?" And I was like, "I like to drink George DeBuff Beaujolais Volage." Beaujolais Volage. Do you remember that one? It was a red wine, Beaujolais Volage. It was George DeBuff. It had flowers painted on the label. I remember that. And my mom was like, "Do you like this?" And I said, "Yes, that's what I like. Make sure that there's enough of it." And I always made sure that I had enough of this wine. And thinking back, all I wanted to do was not have feelings. I never knew who I was. It's kind of sad if you think back to it. Like, I got married and I didn't even know who I was. And then I got married and I had babies and did all this stuff and had no idea who I was. I don't think my first husband, the father of my kids, let's just call him my father of my kids, and I had any idea who we were as human beings. I was just like, somebody gave an example of me of like being a pinball in a pinball machine, like bouncing off of things. I didn't really have a compass. I didn't have roots. I didn't have a sense of who I was. I knew who God was. I always knew who God was. And that was kind of important to me. Even when I was drinking, I was like, I know who God is. I know that I wanted to go to church. I know I loved going to church and I loved just the whole ceremony of it, of the kneeling and the standing up and the kneeling and the standing up. All of that I loved always. But I think I only had foxhole prayers like, God, please help me get out of this. God, please, I pray I didn't hurt anybody. God, da, 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 all of that. But now I really, I ask God every day to direct my thinking. Like, God, I offer myself to thee to do as thou wilt. Relieve me of the bondage of self so I may do your will always and everywhere. And God, before I go on my podcast, please speak through me. The Blessed Mother, please speak through me. Like, literally, I have to get out of the way. I was talking to these kids. We were sitting there having this deep conversation. To think that I was doing this with my son and my future daughter-in-law and their friends, like having a real in-depth conversation about what to do and taking risks and fear. And I'm just going to tell you guys a little bit about the fear because we're almost at a half an hour and I don't want to go on too long today. But fear, I said to these kids, fear in the Bible, it says so many times in the Bible, do not fear, because if you trust me, everything's going to work out. Just trust me. And that doesn't mean you can go through life without participating, right? So I always, you can't win the lottery if you don't buy a ticket, right? So you have to make the gesture of going and buying a ticket. Or if you have fear of what's going to happen, you have to know in your canoe of life that God is behind you and he's paddling, but you're paddling too. He's just directing you. But if you trust in that, truly trust with your heart, your whole entire heart, your whole entire being, go, I trust God. I trust God. It doesn't feel comfortable, but I'm going to let go and I'm going to trust. I'm going to trust. I'm going to have faith. And I said to these kids, faith and fear can't live in the same moment. So either you're going to be on the faith side or you're going to be on the fear side. Which side are you going to be? But if you have the faith side, things might not look the way you want them to look, but it's the way God wants them to look. And in the end, what you hope to have happened, if God made something else happen, it was always meant to be. That's the whole thing. Like, none of us know what is going to happen. That is the truth. Nobody. I mean, you can pay somebody who works on the boardwalk that can say, I'm going to tell you your future. But the only person who really knows your future is God. So, can you trust God with everything? Can you trust God? Can you trust God? Can you have faith? Faith in knowing that everything is going to work out okay, even though you don't know how it's going to work out, but it's going to be okay. Can you go to that in your life? Can you go to this, like, I'm going to trust no matter what? This doesn't look good. It's not looking the way I want it to look, but I'm going to trust that it's all going to work out. Can you do that? It's hard, right? It's hard. It's hard to envision that, to go, all right, I'm going to trust everything and I'm not going to go to fear. I'm not going to go to fear because fear coming out sideways is anger, it's hurt, it's resentment, it's envy, it's jealousy. I could go on and on and on ad nauseum with other adjectives to describe the way that fear comes out inside of human beings. But we're always scared of A, we're not going to keep what we have, or B, we're not going to get what we want. And so what if we just trusted God that it's all going to work out the way he wants it to work out. And it doesn't matter the way we're scared isn't going to happen. It's all going to work out the way God wants it to work out. And we are all going to die one day. That is the truth, my friends. We are all going to die one day. What day that is, I have no idea. That's on God. But if you're here and you're walking on this planet and you're breathing air in and out, you have a chance to change the history and the trajectory of your family when you do put down a drink. Because who I was this past weekend was not the woman I would have been 18 years ago by any stretch of the imagination. 19 years ago would never have been this girl. No. I would have been dancing on bars, drinking beers back with these young boys, doing things that I would be so ashamed of, saying things that I would have regretted, acted the way I wouldn't have wanted to act. Just putting down that drink and surrendering over time. I'm not going to say it happened right away because that would be a lie. Over time, the more and more I surrender, the more and more I let go, the more and more I trust. And there is no fear when I trust. Either I'm all trusting or I'm not trusting at all. There's no half, right? Either you're all in and say, all right, God, I trust you. It's all going to work out the way you want it to go, God. Not maybe the way Elizabeth wants it to go, but the way you want it to go, God. And because of my walking with this, my son and his future bride had a wonderful time. I think they did. They at least said that they did. They had a great party this past Saturday night and a great weekend with their friends. And it wasn't about Elizabeth. It was about Henry and his fiance. It wasn't about Elizabeth. It was about them and showing them a good time and hosting a beautiful party for them because we want to celebrate them. We already celebrated me a long time ago. It's time to celebrate them. And it's not about me. It's about them. Isn't that amazing? To get to this place in life. Sobriety has so many gifts that keep coming and coming and coming. And little did I know when I said I'm going to put down a drink 18 plus years ago, did I know that life beyond my wildest dreams meant that I could actually show up for my kids and not have it be about me. Amazing. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. All right, you guys, I hope you enjoyed today's show. If you did, please subscribe. Share it with your friends, share it with your neighbors, share it with your family. Please subscribe. Go to my website, elizabethchance.com, and sign up for my newsletter. It'll come into your inbox every Friday. You'll get updates when new episodes drop. And know this, you are not alone. Take care, everybody, and I will be back next Wednesday. Until then, stay cool. Stay knowing that you are not alone. God is there, my friends. God is there. Take care. Bye. Thanks for listening to Conversations with Bizzy. I hope you enjoyed today's show. If you did, if you could subscribe, that would mean the world to me. And follow me on all social media. And you can also get my newsletter every Friday morning into your inbox. Just go to elizabethchance.com and subscribe. Take care.